What's up guys? So in this video I want to talk about Palantir stock. This stock has recently fallen from a high of about $39 at the end of January to about $22 today. And I've very recently taken a position in this company. And in this video I want to talk about why I've decided to do that. I'm not going to be talking about any of the quantitative items such as the balance sheet or the financials, the revenues. Instead, in this video I'm going to focus on my qualitative analysis. And I'll cover the other items in another video. So I hope you enjoy watching this video. I hope it brings you some value. Let's dive straight into it. So the first topic I want to kind of just riff on is the fact that digitization is clearly the future. And I believe that Palantir is a clear leader in this trend. So it's no secret that the digital age is bringing enormous efficiencies to our lives and to organizations. The smartphone, for instance, is the perfect example. At a very basic level, it takes enormous amounts of data and integrates it into this really easy to use, simple user interface. And the efficiencies that this gives us is absolutely obscene. I mean, you've got the camera at a click of a button. Previously, you would have needed a separate camera if you wanted to take a photo. You've also got like the entire internet at a click of a button. So basically the world library, every book you could ever imagine, any piece of information you want to know is right there at a click of a button. You have unlimited video in YouTube. Anything you want to learn, there's video content for it. The phone makes us smarter, better, and just all around better informed to make decisions. Now, this same efficiency gain has happened at an organizational level as well. What we've seen in recent years is a trend towards integrating different software packages into single user interfaces in organizations and then mixing this with AI. If this is executed correctly, the benefits, just like the benefits our smartphone brings us, are absolutely profound. There is a problem though, and that's a problem that I am acutely aware of from first-hand experience. And it's a problem that not a lot of organizations talk about. And that problem is that a lot of these efforts to integrate softwares into single user interfaces or to try and digitize physical hard assets into software end up being a complete and utter waste of money and resources. And that's because a lot of them fail. This is especially the case when companies that don't have a digital pedigree try and make these solutions in-house. You see it all the time. They think that they have the capability to come up with their own in-house solution to digitize some part of their business, and they end up just failing. Essentially, they try and become a digital software company, even though their main expertise is probably in manufacturing or logistics. And in my experience, this is just a recipe for disaster. The risk, of course, of not innovating at this level, of not integrating software solutions into single user interfaces, into not harnessing the power of AI to enhance your business, is you're simply going to get overtaken by your competition. Because if you're not doing it, I guarantee your competitors are, and as a result, they're going to be faster and smarter than you are, and you're going to get overtaken in terms of cost and efficiencies. So essentially, any company that's not native to software and digital transformation with any sense will go external for these solutions. And hence why we've seen so many consulting agencies in the digital space in Industry 4.0 spring up, and so many just companies in general that are servicing this sector in recent years. Now, one thing that I believe sets Palantir apart from the majority of these is simply the level of experience they have. And in fact, I'll go as far as to say is that I think this is one of Palantir's major strengths. I actually think it's a big moat around their business, and one that's not often spoken about. You see, unlike their competitors, Palantir has spent the best part of nearly 2 decades using government defence budgets to develop their knowledge and expertise on how to build these systems and how to integrate them into organisations. This, in my view, gives them a huge advantage over their competitors, an advantage that I simply cannot overstate. The other thing I really like about Palantir's business, and again is something that I don't hear other people talking about a lot, is that their approach is very unique, but it's also, in my opinion, quite scalable, which is actually something that I've heard other people criticise them for, in saying that their business is not scalable and that with every new customer that comes in, they have to put up huge upfront capital in order to develop the system. And while some of that is true, I think that they're taking it to the extreme. But let me explain. So Palantir has 2 unique product offerings. Okay, they've got Gotham and Foundry. Gotham is the legacy solution for the defence contractors, and Foundry is the new solution that they're offering to commercial organisations. And essentially Palantir coined these as operating systems for enterprises. So much like how Windows enables you to operate your computer, or Android enables you to operate your phone. Palantir is trying to be the operating system for organizations, enabling them to operate faster and smarter than their organization would without that system. They coined their solution a digital twin approach. So essentially they make a digital twin of the organization. You can think of the organization as a global network of systems and manual processes or machines, whatever the manufacturing or the supply chain needs to work end to end. And sitting on top of this then is this digital twin that integrates everything into one front-end solution. From a systems perspective, it's integrating all your systems into one front-end solution that has AI built into it. From a physical perspective, it's connecting all your physical machines and systems using sensors and whatnot into this user interface as well. And that's the equivalent of taking, say, physical mail and instead going to email. It goes from being extremely slow and cumbersome to instantly searchable, sortable, scalable and programmable. It becomes much faster and smarter and much more efficient. So the efficiencies are obviously massive. To be able to condense global data points into a single front-end solution, it gives you massive leverage. And as an organization, it just enables you to be much faster and smarter than your competition. On top of this then, Palantir offers massive data processing capability and the ability to model decisions and then to select the best decision based on whatever key constraints or whatever variables you're trying to optimize for. So you can imagine here in a global supply chain like a logistics company, the amount of variables are just massive. You could have hundreds of thousands of products being delivered to thousands of locations at any single time point. And how could a human possibly integrate all these variables and make a decision to optimize for single outcomes? You couldn't. You wouldn't have the data processing capability that a system or AI would give you. And another key strength that Palantir has is the versatility of their solution. And they've already demonstrated this by the number of different use cases that they've already deployed to. So from global logistic organizations to the Ferrari F1 team to the IRS in trying to detect tax fraud, the possibilities are just simply endless. So it seems that the total addressable market for this company is simply expanding and expanding every time they put out a new use case. And I've no idea where this will go in the future. I think the possibilities are vast, but one definite area I think they'll go into is future transportation. So for instance, right now we've got the majority of cars going around the place are ICE vehicles and they're driven by humans. In the future, we're going to have autonomous electric vehicles, and the amount of data that's going to come from them is going to be immense. And these vehicles are going to require solutions like Palantir's in order to operate safely in a connected world. And I think this is clearly apparent by the fact that Palantir recently made an investment into a company called Lilium, and they have made the first ever vertical takeoff and landing jet. So you'd have to wonder, where do these fit? And in my head, it's obvious that Palantir are going to be the operating system for this VTOL jet. But to come back on the scalability argument, I don't know a whole lot about the ins and outs of their software solution, but I have done a good bit of research into them. And from listening to them talk about their solution, I get the impression that it's very modular and scalable. So think of Lego. Each block fits together perfectly, seamlessly, and you can build an unlimited variety of structures by connecting different blocks in different orders. Palantir's solution strikes me as something similar. Very modular and very customizable based on the customer's needs. And of course, the more use cases they add, the more blocks they build, and the more versatility they have, and the more use cases ultimately they can apply to in the future. And the more use cases they can deploy to without having to rebuild what they've already built in the past. You're looking at massive potential for economies of scale here. And with each new customer, the system gets better and better, and Palantir's knowledge as an organization gets better and better. So look, to close off here, I just want to say that when I'm thinking about investing, I want to invest into a larger trend that's growing and growing, and I want to be able to ride that wave instead of trying to fight it. So the digitisation of physical assets, Industry 4.0, the Internet of Connected Things, whatever you want to call it, it's clearly a growing trend. And Palantir is clearly a leader in this space and a company that's going to grow massively with this trend into the future. On top of this, they have what seems to be an exceptional product that's massively versatile and scalable, with a huge expertise and body of knowledge built out over years. On top of this, I can't pin down a total addressable market. It just seems to be growing by the day, and I cannot seem to define the boundary of that growth. So folks, that's my kind of qualitative analysis for the moment. I'll probably make another video looking at the fundamentals, looking at the quantitative figures, the revenues, etc. I just wanted to make this video and let you know that I did take a position in Palantir. This is of course not investment advice, it's just my opinion, but I do think that this is a great long-term winner, and it's a business that I'm going to buy and tuck away for the next decade at least. I'm not going to touch this. It's in my retirement account and I'm just going to see what becomes of it. If you got value from the video, please do smash the like button. Let me know that you got value from it. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.